Joining us, and Happy New Year. I hope it's not late.
Happy New Year too.
Since the last time you were here, we are again keeping track on one of the flagship projects of this Kenya Kwanza government. And I've seen a comment here by Patricia Kombo. She says, amazing work from the Hustler PS. Looking forward to the interview. Amos Okwara, and actually I'll start with that question. Amos Okwara says, ask PS SMEs about removal from CRB as promised by this administration. Why was it abandoned? Was it abandoned?
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope you signed up on Hustler Fund. The last time I was here, we agreed. You are going to sign up so that you keep tracking the progress. I wish Amos could explain whether he's in CRB now. It will really help us to respond to his concern. However, let me begin by talking about the key milestone. I saw you talked about the hits and misses.
The hits and misses.
And I said you will discuss the misses, I will discuss the hits. Okay. I think let's share that.
All right.
So, but in terms of what we consider as hits, number one, the fund has been able to deepen financial inclusion at the bottom of the economic pyramid. We have so far disbursed close to 65 billion Kenyan shillings. That's our loan portfolio has grown up to that amount as of today to 25.3 million Kenyans. That's so big, and these are 18 years and above. 18 years, so these are adults. So I think the fund is really serving close to 3/4 of the adult population in Kenya, and we've realized close to 3.7 billion, the kind of in savings that has been mopped up. Remember also the purpose of the fund was to promote a culture of saving, especially among the people who are in the informal sector, who are not really, kind of employed, because if you are employed, there's a way through which you save. Then what else have we done? For the last, I would say, 2 years of experience since the launch, almost 2, and we're almost moving to 2.5 years since the launch. We have been able to establish the credit profiles of all those 25.3 million Kenyans. They now have a credit history. You can now find data about them and be able to assess them fairly in terms of their creditworthiness. Because initially, most of these people could not be served in the mainstream financial sector due to lack of any data footprint about them. So in the mainstream, the commercial banks and the MFIs wants to serve them, they don't know. So if they don't know so much about you, if they cannot track your credit history, what do? The cost of credit becomes high. So then that's at the point when they ask you to provide a collateral or security or some sort of a guarantor. But when you are at the bottom of the economic pyramid, you find that most of, even your social capital comes down. Nobody can even say, I can give you this title deed to gain borrow money. Nobody even trusts you. It's like you really condemned to, to kind of, to that level. So the banks will look at you as a high risk. So they deal with you very cautiously. So this is what we've tried to kind of work on and address to see how do we then establish credit profiles, give opportunities for all Kenyans to start building their credit history. So when they walk to the bank or they walk to any financial institution, their history is somewhere. There is data footprints in as far as their credit behavior is concerned, and then they can now be assessed fairly and accorded, affordable credit. So the initiative of Hustler Fund has been, the purpose is try to mobilize as many Kenyans as possible and enable them to participate in the money economy, if you like it, where everybody is served and served better and is served in a very affordable manner.
Okay. Talking about now the NISAs, there was the issue of the Auditor General who flagged 106 billion as money that could not be traced, untraceable money on the platform. 106
billion?
Yes.
106 billion?
Yes, that's what we got even from our business desk in terms of the figures.
I think, really?
Yeah.
106 billion, how? From where?
From where? Okay, so about the control of budget, Auditor General's report that has, of course, had issues with, as it does, with the figures of this country. Is every coin accountable? So
let me say, absolutely every coin is accounted for. And in this, if it's not in circulation, then it's with Kenyans. So it's accountable for. But so far, let me put this into perspective. We have accessed from Exchequer about 14 billion, out of which from the Exchequer, the capitalization of this fund that we have received from Exchequer has been 14 billion since the launch of this fund, of which 13 billion has been disbursed, is what is in circulation, is what is revolving. And if someone say that the fund is not doing well, I wonder how we'll be able to grow within that short period of time. This loan portfolio up to 65 billion as where we are today. Okay. So I don't think it was 106 billion because we are yet to even to hit there. It is, so far we have received 14 billion. Okay. 13.5 billion is what we have disbursed, is what is in circulation even as we speak now. And yes, we can account for each and every coin because, like I've said, we have data of all our beneficiary, everybody who has borrowed. We have data because your unique identifier is your ID. Okay. And the good thing what we did in this country, that then we integrated your ID with your mobile number. So of course, and we can be able to tell you where everybody is in terms of even the geographical location, because you remember it's mobile. So mobile can cite you where you are. So I will say every coin is accounted for. So if it's not in circulation, then it's yet to be repaid, but we know where it is. Yeah,
there is the issue of the last financial year that the budget, the Exchequer cut out more than 90% of funding to the platform. How were you able to cope that in the last financial year?
Yeah, but so Hustler Fund, as any other revolving fund, is not anticipated that you keep on recapitalizing, to the same level. Yes. And the fact that we've been able to achieve this level of disbursement or in terms of growing a loan portfolio in itself shows that we are sustainable. And I think it would have been of worry then to the public if at all each and every financial year we expect to receive the same funding as what we received during the initial capitalization. That then it means that this fund is not working. But where we are right now, we're okay in terms of liquidity because I think for the last couple of months, for the last 1 year, you will agree with me, you've not heard anybody say there is no money, there is no what, because they are borrowing and we're able to sustain the liquidity of it, so we're able to balance. And also we introduced during the second anniversary that took place on 9th of December 2024, we introduced another product we call Bridge, which is now graduating the good borrowers, those beneficiaries that have demonstrated good credit scores to the higher loan limits. So if you give me time, I'll be talking about what this bridge means. But the other thing that we've done, all these 25.3 million Kenyans, including yourself, and you can check it today, they are all rated. So we introduced, from the experience which we've had for the last 2 years of the personal loan of Hustler Fund, we've been able to kind of assess, you know, we have experienced behaviors, borrowing behaviors, and now we have assessed and we have rated them. So all those 25 million Kenyans, they are rated with a score ranging from A to C. So it's a 9-band score, or rather behavioral rating system.
Yes.
So we have A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3.
Okay.
Of course, with A, meaning A and B being, you know, A excellent, B good, and of course C as you get to C3, meaning very poor. Now this rating is now your identity. It's like a learning experience where at the end of the time you do an exam. So then you are able to know who do we advance to the next level. So at this point now in time, what we have, we can kind of cite the credit profiles of each and every beneficiary, and then come up also with targeted measures or targeted recovery measures, because you cannot also come up with a blanket incentive. For example, majority of people who are rating either C2 or C3, these are people who borrowed either once or twice at the initial period of the fund, you know, during the first and second month, and probably disappeared. So you see now, if you have that rate of C3, we already know you borrowed once, twice, and you ran away.
Yeah.
So if you have those kind of people, in other words, what you are telling people, and where we are moving to a space where we want to institutionalize this, because we also want to encourage good behaviors. So we will not blacklist you, but you'll blacklist yourself.
Okay.
Because then, if you if you cannot be trusted with 500 shilling, why should you be trusted with maybe 5,000 or even more? So you'll blacklist yourself.
Okay.
So we want people to gain that consciousness, so that then they start to protect and to safeguard their credit rating. Because the credit rating going forward, we want it also to become like a soft collateral that will enable you access credit, even in the mainstream financing market, without necessarily being required, you know, giving you either title deed,
collateral,
or, you know, those conventional collaterals, the title deed, the logbooks, and maybe bringing on board maybe someone who can guarantee you, which most of the time you may not find, even if it's your parent who can give you a title deed and say go and borrow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we really want Kenyans to become conscious of this, because this Hustler Fund credit scoring, it demonstrates that you have really braved off the so-called moral hazard that most of the time is attached to the government. You know, there's this thing, oh, this is it's GOK, so there is a very high moral hazard. But if you can get beneficiaries, like now the ones who are scoring A's, either A's or B's, who now totals to about 6 million Kenyans. I mean, these are good people that we can now encourage the bank. You can deal with them because they have shown they're serious people. They have shown very high credit standing, and these are people that you can move to the next level and even now start engaging with them.
Absolutely. PS, hold that thought for now. We'll be taking a short break. A lot to unpack about that new product, what more is happening in the Hustler Fund, and of course in the MSME sector, to be able to see and talk about that and much more. PS is staying here with me tonight for that extended conversation after this short commercial break. Amos, please clarify about your removal from CRB. PS asked your question. Please go ahead and clarify as well. I can see your feedback on YouTube. You'll be able to field all your questions to the Honorable PS right here on the Daily Report. But please do stay with us. We are back shortly.